Welcome back to the Meeple Marathon. Today we're going to be taking a look at Isle of Cats. And specifically today I want to show off how I have chosen to store Isle of Cats. Now before I go ahead and crack this box open, I did want to point out that Isle of Cats recently had its second Kickstarter campaign, and it was successfully funded, and currently the campaign is or the pledge manager is on Gamefound, and I'm pretty sure you can late pledge for any of the content, even if you did not participate in the Kickstarter. And one of the things that they have in that Kickstarter was what they call the big old 2-minute box, and supposedly it is a box slightly bigger than this. It's going to come with its own built-in storage solution, and it's going to make it so you can set up a game for Isle of Cats in 2 minutes or less. So that's why it's called the 2-minute box. So with all that being said, knowing that's on the horizon, and if you are a big Isle of Cats fan, you may not be interested in putting a lot of money into a Etsy or Broken Token or eRaptor, any of those really nice storage solutions, because you may be considering purchasing the big old 2-minute box, and a year from now all of that would be wasted. So what I'm about to show you now is really just one item that I purchased from Michael's, my local craft store, and a second item that you could technically purchase, and I'll tell you why that one's not quite as necessary. But let's get into it here. So Isle of Cats comes in a pretty big box, certainly one that is not necessary for everything that comes in just the base game. So you can see there's actually a lot of room here. A lot of room for, say, the Late Arrivals expansion, or if you have the Kickstarter exclusives. What's in here right now is just the standard retail edition of the game. But as you can see, there's space here and lots of flat space. You could easily fit more stuff on here. At this point, I would recommend certainly storing the game flat to keep everything in its own spot. But I will talk about how you might have the possibility of turning it upside down, or on its side, not upside down, turning it on its side later. So let's get into this. Here are the rule books. They just are sitting on top along with the score pad. Okay, so this right here is actually the single piece, the single item that I'm recommending you purchase from Michael's, and I will put a link in the description below. This box right here, this elongated box, actually came with these 3 little boxes, and there's even a 4th one that I didn't need. But if I set it right there like that, it is actually just the perfect height. So if I needed a 4th box for something, say I got the fish little Meeple upgrade and I wanted to put those in here, I could, and the box is still going to close. You can see that the instruction manuals fit beside it, so everything is all good. So this one item from Michael's that was, we're talking less than $5, a couple of dollars. I can't remember exactly how much I spent on it, but I'm sure I had a coupon, and it comes with this elongated box with these 4 smaller boxes inside. It's a beautiful deal, especially for this game. So again, I'm just going to set this one off to the side. So what do I have in this? Actually, first of all, let's just get this out of the way. This is, of course, the majority of your tiles. This is all the standard color cats and the rare treasure tiles that just sit in that bag. You just kind of flatten them out as best you can and lay them down on top of the boat and then the island tile. That's all pretty straightforward. As long as you push the boat tiles or boat boards into one of the corners, then you essentially have this set up here. So and really you could manipulate these in any way, shape, or form. What I've got here is a deck box. It's an oversized deck box, and this is by, let's pull these out first. This one in particular is by Ultra Pro. And what I liked about this one is that there is just a tad too many cards in the base game, and if you start getting expansions, then I'll probably look into well, I'm probably going to get the 2-minute, big old 2-minute box, so I'm not even going to worry about that. But this one, it's not just like a hinged lid. It's actually like it slides off. And so you can see there's actually more cards in here than this thing was designed to hold. But since the lid just kind of slides on, similar to storing a board game where, you know, it doesn't all fit. The lid doesn't close all the way, but all I needed was the width. The width stays the same, and you do have to tip it in upside down because the base here is slightly thicker, but the width of the standard size is perfect. You can see there's no box stretch or anything like that, and it just slides right out of there. So you don't need that. You could do like the designer says and just stack them up here in the corner and stack stuff against them, and they're really not going to go anywhere. I, however, had this on hand, and it's a perfect fit. You could also get 2 standard deck boxes and stack them up side by side, and it would do the exact same thing. So, again, this is kind of optional. It depends on how much you want to protect your cards. So, I will put a link in the description for this particular one, but again, any deck box, which you can find just about anywhere, 2 standard ones should get the job done. Pencils there. Okay, so what I have in this big long one here are all of my standard treasure tiles and my Oshax tiles. This, you can see also there is plenty of room in here to add additional tiles from some of the other expansions, but also I know that there's no divider in here, but it's very easy to separate. You know, just push the treasure tiles off to the side, and here you pull out your Oshax tiles, and then you can just be pulling your treasure tiles out throughout the game. And this, you can see, will fit there. There's a little wiggle room, but for the most part, or it can fit right there. Either way, you do have to take one of these boxes and turn it sideways to fit in, whereas the rest of the time they can fit in like this. Then you can see I've taken the rest of my boxes. I have filled the blue one with my fish tokens, one with all of my cat tokens. All the cat tokens fit in there. The only thing that wouldn't fit was the this round marker here, but there was plenty of room with the basket tokens in this one. So again, most of the game content sits and is always in this discovery bag here. But everything else, you can easily pull these out, set this off to the side, and people can just pull their fish tokens out of there, or you can dump it out, and it creates a nice storage thing. So what I am recommending, if you wanted to, I said I would cover this, if you were wanting to store your game on its side, I feel like you could do it as long as you considered where is all the weight. So if you put all of your cards at one end and all your boards, and this is where all your weight is, I would tip it up this way. I would make this the bottom of the box. This is not going to go anywhere once the lid is closed. There's not enough room, so it's not going to crush your discovery bag. All of this stuff is just going to then sit on top of the card deck of cards, and then this stuff really isn't going to move around a lot. You could just make sure that's at the bottom. So if you were hell-bent on tipping it up on its end, say to display the front of the box in your Calyx storage solution, there is a way to do that. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is how I have chosen to store my Isle of Cats game. Again, this is simply meant to be a really cheap DIY solution until the big old box is delivered as part of the current Kickstarter. So I'll put a link to the Gamefound Pledge Manager in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more videos like this in the future, including, I'm going to do a solo playthrough of the Isle of Cats soon and post it on the channel, please consider subscribing. Once again, thanks for watching. Have a great day.